Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the CQ. I'm your host M94.
And I'm Fat Man.
Okay, we got something I think nostalgic. Yeah, definitely a bit nostalgic, taking back everybody to their school life. Because yeah, we have interesting like ways to think about school again. Because like we've been out of school for a long time
Yeah,
now.
now 2030, right?
Yeah, it's been long enough, I guess, to try and look back in a different view of what school was and like share experience of it. And I think it's important things that we want to talk about, like from anywhere from like good bad experience or from like bullying to I don't know, over loyalty to schools, like why people like madly, insanely follow their schools and everything that happens, and still are very proud that they went to this certain school and still have big matches, and why people go. There's a lot of social psychological things, but yeah, like we want to share that bit at least. Like,
Yeah,
what is your thinking?
yeah, so what I'm thinking is like, okay, let's get it out in the open. So I went to St. Thomas's College, Matarania.
Right.
You went to prep and then St. Thomas's College, Matarania.
My levels, yeah.
For levels, yeah. So I never got insanely. My brother for A levels, he was at Wesley, for two O levels and A levels.
This is one of your brothers.
One of my brothers. Yeah, I have two brothers. One of my brothers went to St. Thomas's, and he's extremely loyal. He's more loyal than me.
Right.
So I'm like, so the whole concept of being loyal to a school, I don't get that.
Right. Neither do I.
Okay, so because like the whole concept, even I am in fault to this, but when you graduate uni, you wear a school tie.
Right.
and
Yeah, I
all
don't
this
get
stuff.
it. Yeah.
I didn't get it, and so I won't say that I had a bad experience at school. I had a very mediocre experience. I was a very nominal student. I didn't participate in any extracurricular activities.
Right.
I was just me. I had good friends. There was like one at grade 9. There was this one dude who, like, after school every day, like for 2 hours, we talk about Dragon Ball Z.
Brilliant. Yeah.
People who don't know Dragon Ball Z, yeah, so.
It's the best thing ever. Oh man.
Okay, so like, and then we slowly evolved into anime and the anime culture.
Right.
The area was just another person who came from prep actually, and he was really, you know,
Yeah.
you know him, you know him. He was just very into anime, and he likes stuff. So like,
Similar minded, I guess.
similar minded. So I found people who were similar minded, but never got the engagement. Whoa, yeah, even why people are very loyal to a school, they die for their school. Big matches, I just don't get it. I just went to one.
I've been to one big match ever.
Okay, well, I was in one big match as a normal kid. Then I was in Red Cross.
Normal kid.
Like a normal. Then I was in Red Cross. Then I had duty.
Alright,
So
duty.
Okay, I was like, I just put it all and this thing to people who came with wounds.
Once. I've been to once, I think, all over the year. I went to one big match. Not even when I was in college. It was just once. To student, one day of one big match. That's it. That's all my experience of big match.
When I was in grade 6 or something, I was just went to one match and I just had hot dogs. There were hot dog stands, I just ate hot dogs.
11 hours. Yeah.
It was a boy stand, it was 30.
Yeah, it's just boys then. Yeah, I know. It was 20 or 30, 50 or something. It was very cheap anyway.
So yeah, so never got the whole big match scene also why people are crazy.
Probably now it's just a very social thing, I guess. But then
Like,
I don't get it.
Now, like, they don't go to see a good match.
no, they don't go to watch the match. No,
They
they
just
want
go
to get drunk.
and just have fun.
They want to get drunk, show off their new girlfriends, probably.
Oh, totally. Like, that's what they do. Even our friends do that.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Like, once they go to big match.
They want to take the girlfriend.
Went to the big match. I just don't get that.
They want to spend exorbitant amounts on tickets to show off their new girlfriend.
Dude, like, after a old, it's like a ridiculous amount of money for a.
It's like salary of like a whole month for certain daily wage earners, I think. It's million.
And this time also for Corona, they freaking didn't stop it. Horrible.
Yeah.
I'm like so
Disgraceful.
disgraceful.
Definitely.
Oh, so disgraceful. And my brother went for it. My parents were so pissed. It's like no amount of social responsibility there. Right?
Definitely.
Oh my god, like you call yourself
Exactly.
a
That's
best
what.
school in the world and you freaking don't want to stop the most lamest thing ever, in our opinion. Maybe people might differ.
Exactly. A lot of people are going to defer to that.
Differ to this. Okay. So yeah, again, it's not very so when I think about it, I just had good friends, good conversations, very nominal experience. Didn't get the whole loyalty experience, but I learned a few things from school. Okay, and those skills was like
Values,
this.
not skill.
No, yeah, values.
Or education. What are you
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about? Learning things.
Views of things.
Because
How to
traditionally,
do stuff.
okay, traditionally school is just your 8 subjects and get out.
Yeah.
You don't know what to do with your life at all. Never prepares you.
Yeah, so okay, certain things that I like was ingrained in me. Okay, from grade one. Okay, when a teacher walks into the class, you stand up.
So certain
Respect. Okay, you say good morning. When you speak to speak to a person of authority, you put your hands behind. When a person of authority walks by,
signs of respect.
signs of respect. Okay, when you drink water, you excuse yourself. Okay, those are three and like stuff like that. Okay, the one thing I would say that I'm grateful towards St. Thomas College is they taught me how to speak proper English. Now I know how to read, write, and learn English, and that's immensely valuable. That for that I'm very grateful towards St. Thomas. Anything else I'm not. Okay, so these are so like I said, the certain values that school maintained ingrained in me. When I went outside in school, it was like pointless. Right. For example,
you don't know what you like. You don't know what you want to do with your life.
For example, I went to a tuition class. There's this famous Tamil tuition master called Anandan.
That's okay.
Yeah. So he asked me a question, and I stood up. I put my hands behind. Okay, and I replied, and everyone, the whole like 200 kids started laughing at me. Okay, so that was destroyed. No one else follows it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I went to uni. The first time, first day of class orientation. No, after I didn't go for orientation. First day of school, uni. I went down. The lecturer walks in. No one gives a shit. Everyone is talking. Everyone is doing their business. I'm like so awkward and stuff. Do I need to stand up? Do I need to say good morning?
Right.
Nothing. That's what this right. None of those skills, those stupid things that were ingrained in me, never made. Maybe it made me a good person, but it didn't make sense to me. It's like no one else in the whole world does it. Since St. Thomas is a British school and we have to follow British traditions.
Okay.
They are
established during British times.
And they are first wardens of the British. Okay. It's a totally British school.
Given. Okay, that's a given.
We had even recently we had a British warden. Okay, we are a totally British school. Okay, so
hilarious.
Who values traditions like crazy?
Yeah,
it's like
which is very
pointless. Pointless. Traditions are pointless, right? Stick to the times.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, dude. So that's like pointless. Why did I learn this? Why? When I didn't do that, only in this particular 4 walls, those rules were maintained, right?
Yeah.
It didn't prepare me to the world or how I'm gonna face the world. It didn't teach me about stuff. Even the education, we want to talk about the education. There was a whole other conversation where we talk about how stupid our education system is, right? So
the matter of fact, the sign of respect is the problem with that is just you show a sign when the teacher's there. When someone is there, you show this fake side of you that seems like you're respectful. But then when they're not there, you play the fool and say bad things about them. That's how people learn how to disrespectful the law of the country as well from policemen. When there's a policeman right there, you want to stay in line and go orderly because you don't want to get booked and you don't want to go through the whole process of paying a fine. But when the cop's not there, when there's nobody looking, everybody turns the other way, no law is there, do whatever you want. That's what they learn in school. That's the problem. Because you learn when the teacher is there. If you do something naughty, then you're gonna get punished, and you don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Why if it's not gonna be worthless, why are you ingraining it? So how you ingrain something is you tell something, and when you do it, you get scolded.
Yeah.
So you don't want to get scolded, so you keep on doing it. And but I think that's a good thing. So when you go outside of school, that has no meaning. Right?
Exactly. True respect and true learning is very different from what school is actually teaching.
And even like that was in grade 9, they were like so into teaching the history of school.
Right.
They had a separate period to teach us the history of school. Like, how involved that you should be to teach a history of a school.
I think students need to know a bit, but then it's not like just take away a whole period for it. So sad.
Every week, a whole period.
Yeah, that's overkill, definitely.
It's
Yeah.
I think, okay, the whole perfection thing. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, people fight and grab at school. You get such a respect and this thing. And when
It's
you
a fake form of respect. Nobody really does. It's
no,
just
like, no. When I was grade 6, grade 7, I don't know about now. College prefects deserved them because they were
good.
They were good. Okay, they
Fair,
were fair and stuff. Okay, the respect was given to them. Okay, and
Or they
I
earned that.
would say, I will go to a point to say they deserve that respect
Right.
because they were exceptional students. But the thing is, like obviously there was like selection process and this.
Yeah.
Those prefects, after when you become a prefect, after you leave school, it doesn't matter shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter at all.
Not much. Yeah.
I asked my prefects friends, dude, do you think it gave you an advantage on your professional career? They said no.
No.
Maybe a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, learning of like authority, like power, like what that can do to a person. You can learn a bit about yourself, but in a leadership position, it does teach you a bit, but then it's not very.
Like there are people who don't they want to get that to further their career, right? I don't think that. Yeah, that's why the whole,
I don't know if that's the point of friendship.
the whole point of perfection, right? Perfection is the whole point.
Of perfection.
Yeah, I think like, it's a very Sri Lankan, very studious fellows. Okay, this is the advantage for me for in my future.
Put it in my resume.
It doesn't mean maybe there are few people who have the likeness to lead a people who has actual
Leadership culture.
leadership culture. Maybe they want to do it. I think they might be the head prefects, but there are some people who just want to put it on their resume, right?
Okay.
And the
kudos to them for thinking about like future and like resume and like professional culture.
the whole thing is pointless, right?
Yeah.
So no, what I'm thinking is like those stuff that you taught in school were important. Oh, this person is important. This person is like this thing.
Right.
When you come out of school, your whole world is changed.
Definitely.
It's like no one gives two shits over who you are or what you did.
Yeah.
You start from scratch. Even you.
But going to certain schools has its privileges. Given that certain companies where they favor people going to certain schools.
hate that.
Yeah, which is very horrible.
Stupid.
Yeah.
That's the same thing of being loyal towards your school, right?
Yeah.
Okay? Like that's because your director is old Tomian, he will select Tomians only.
Yeah.
That is so unfair towards other schools, right?
It really doesn't go on merit, but then certain favorite. Yeah. It's definitely discrimination.
That's the definition of favoritism.
Yeah, discrimination.
Which is wrong.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Mm.
And the amount of power that old boys have, I just don't get it.
Mm. Yeah.
Another thing, it's under the Anglican Church. That is what I hate.
Why?
Why education institution should be under a church?
Yeah, because they started school.
They started
They
school.
commanded the
Okay,
director.
I get that.
It probably started with
Okay,
a good mission view.
Okay. Not all Christians have the same Anglican views, right?
But
I was supposed to bow, like in chapel, when you go to the altar, there's an altar.
Yeah.
In my church, I went to those values were not when
I don't bow at anything.
you have to, like when there was a new chaplain was introduced, she took a whole freaking period, got everyone inside church, inside chapel, okay, and made everyone from this thing to like introduce a new style of this thing. So one of this thing is
forceful
to
religion.
bow. I know, right? I know.
I didn't go through that.
Okay, no, this was in grade 9. You weren't there, so I didn't want to do it. When I didn't do it, she made me come back and do it because I didn't have enough the balls to not do it and stand for me.
Yeah. That's rough. That's definitely rough.
Okay, so it's like
Yeah. But I think most Christian schools are very accommodative of other religions. Because I don't see
that's true. That's pretty
Buddhist
good.
schools or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Muslim majority schools having other religious subjects, which is very discriminative, very horrible.
Like the college doesn't have a Muslim or
Exactly.
a Christian.
Yeah, it's horrible. I think we should, as a country, our education system has to reflect the people of the country as well. Like our government should reflect the people of our country. Everything literally has to reflect the people of this country. We are very ethnically diverse, racially diverse, religiously diverse, and we should cherish that. We should really be proud of that. Or else we wouldn't have our biryani, our vatlavam, or kawum and cookies and cool.
Okay, and then you would say that Christian school, yeah, obviously that's Christian school allow that amount of like openness
Diversity,
and diversity and stuff in school. But one of the things that I felt at school is like my viewpoints wasn't influenced at all. Maybe it was because I didn't participate in lots of extracurricular activities. I would say I'm a totally internet kid. All of my views were formed because of the internet.
Right.
Because I went on sites, I went on YouTube channels, and they were speaking about stuff.
Like role models, you're missing like
Not role models. Not role models per se. Views of what.
So you develop views from seeing other people, seeing
No.
like witnessing experience.
Talking about stuff like what you're involving. Not particularly role model. I don't see.
So someone you look up to, right? So you're looking at how they work and how their work ethic is and what their view is. So you kind of see, okay,
Emulate.
yeah.
No, I would say I would never emulate a person. My mom would strongly disagree, say I emulate my brother a lot. But I think me and my brother have very different viewpoints. What speaks to me, that becomes my value. Okay? And conversations. Conversation can mend my values a lot.
Right.
No, not from a role model, I would say.
Right.
Okay? So, but it's like, there was no freedom to have my own viewpoint, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, okay, everyone should be the beehive mentality. Everyone should follow this particular way. Everyone should.
But nobody thought why they should
do this. Okay, the whole trucking thing. Everyone should go trucking. If you're not going to trucking, you're discarded as a outcast, social outcast, and stuff like that. So it's stupid. It's really stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, but so I will close with this. Okay, and then we could move on to what you want to say about school. Overall, I would not send my kid to St. Thomas's. I would prefer my kid to be homeschooled.
Definitely. I definitely agree with homeschooling because there's plenty of activities they can get involved and be social and also learn. But if I definitely have the time and if I can give that time to my child, then I would definitely homeschool as well. Definitely agree because I don't see any boys' schools that are great to put my son, if I have a son ever. Girls' schools wise, maybe ladies and methods.
Yeah, they're good.
Pretty good actually.
Yeah, like even I'm talking to my sister, she was like lots of values were imparted to me in college. I mean, she was in method, so I was like, whoa, like you got values from school. Wow.
How was that in boys' school?
Like, what? Nothing. Oh, stupid, toxic masculinity shit.
Yes.
Right? Because those were the people who were regarded as the cream, also the
top of the top,
the top of the top, the masculine doing sport.
Yeah.
Just studious.
All sports also. That's also very discriminative towards like only rugby and cricket are the sports.
Oh yeah, only rugby and cricket. Yeah,
the sports.
True. Because you had football and you had
exactly.
Yeah. So, only rugby and cricket are the best.
Only sports, yeah.
It's like,
the sports count.
So that's what I would say. I would say, okay, ultimately, I think the one valuable, the most thing that I'm grateful towards school is, like I told you, they taught me how to speak English, write English.
Right. That you could have learned right now, British Council too.
I am like grateful that was ingrained in me. Okay, any other stuff or values that they taught me were down the drain just after I left school and I faced the real world. Like
Right.
for example, the uni.
Yeah. Definitely different world out there. School doesn't prepare you for that, which is very sad.
Yeah.
It is definitely very sad. And you, I don't know, 12, 15 years of school, primary and secondary education, and you come out absolutely clueless about yourself, which is, I can't accept that. Like, I really can't. Like, I struggled with it so much. Like, coming out of school, I still didn't know who I was. I still didn't know what I liked.
No one knew.
Exactly.
I didn't know who I was. I had to spend a lot of time. I still don't know who I am.
Exactly.
Like this a podcast is helping us a lot to see who we are. It's like one of the first intro episodes that we did.
Yeah.
To figure out who we are.
Exactly. I think, education systems have to do something towards it for sure. like parents are trusting, I don't know how many, from 6 to 18. That's 12 years of a child's life trying to mold this person.
And school experience are very skewed too. Like for example, a person who did well, who was considered top of them would have been
very different.
And you would think that would be the universal view, but no.
Definitely.
Hey, wake up call! I hate school.
Definitely.
Yeah. So Richie.
Yeah, you can't say my name out loud.
So what's your
Okay, my school view. Okay. From I don't know. Kind of makes me sad to think about school also sometimes, because I don't think I ever had like a really good experience of an educational institution ever. I always found fault with it. Now I'm questioning myself: is me the problem? So I guess primary education was pretty good. Like grade 1-5 was pretty good. Grade 6 was the only time I actually ever gave my parents a reason to go to a prize giving. I got 2 prizes, math and music. I was a proper, I don't know, student, man. Like 88 average. I know, it was pretty cool, right? Always been like good in the education-ish side, but then like if I felt like I'm interested in the subject, I'd probably put more effort into learning. I didn't go for like tuitions and stuff until like O levels, and that was the deal I made with my parents. Like I go for tuition for O levels, and don't bother with A levels. Like I'll do whatever I want. So no tuition. Yeah, I had like 1 or 2 years of tuition. O-levels. So from grade 6 on.
Speaking of tuitions, I think when we were at school, maybe we went for math. I started teaching of math and science from grade 6.
That's the problem with school. There shouldn't be a reason for tuition in the first place.
No. From grade 6 onwards,
before grade 6,
all subjects they are going for
grade
tuition.
6, like for scholarship also they send people kids for tuition. It's so sad.
Super sad.
Kids can't be kids anymore. They can't play. They can't do. Like
studying is not the whole world. No. You're missing like the school life that also the stuff that you learn. Maybe math, English. Maybe I don't know. I think the fundamental.
I find it hard, I guess. Then school teachers are at fault. They're not doing a good enough job.
And what they do is they sleep at school, they go speaking outside, and they tuition class and earn more money. That is ridiculous, man. Stupid.
Not all teachers, but
some teachers.
There's enough.
Most of the teachers.
There's enough who do it. So probably from grade 6 to grade 11, my average kind of dropped because I never had tuition. Right? So it was just me studying just before the exam and doing it. So I always had like above, I think 65, 70-ish average. Always top 10 studies wise, I guess. Not exactly the whole learning process, but then in papers, doing exams at school for the subjects that you learn, I've been good. So I've been above average, which I'm pretty proud of. I did like 3 sports for school. Yeah, I represented in like 3 sports: football, basketball, and cricket. Under 15, under 13. We didn't have under 17 in prep, but yeah. So even sports wise, I was pretty good. Did probably SCM and scouting for like a couple of years.
You're a scout, seriously?
Yeah, like a bit. Like I think my friends got me into it. I was a bit of a late scouter though. I didn't do cup. Probably like 1 or 2 years that I went scouting. It was fun. I never got into like collecting badges and doing stuff, but then I was there just to learn things. Like I was most interested.
You all got dragged there when you all went to scouting camps, right?
I went to one scouting camp. It wasn't a big jamboree. It was a scouting camp within our school. So it wasn't. I wasn't majorly ragged. But then ragging is another whole big issue that we are going to talk about soon. But yeah, so school, like performance-wise, as a student, I think I did very good. Because yeah, even for O levels, I got like 7 8. So like
That's really good.
I'm pretty happy with my performance as a student in the traditional sense. Right? Like I got good grades. I did my sports. I did I think enough
Even
extracurriculars.
the authenticity of whatever's like not there in like some schools. In my school,
Yeah.
especially for certain subjects, even the invigilator told us to copy. So the integrity of the subject just like really that's like
Right.
one.
Yeah.
So
It
we
hap-
did
yeah.
Tamil lit. So it was just the three of us. So the three of us in a row.
Oh,
The
wow.
one person who studied told us all the questions and we wrote and we got an S or something.
Right. Yeah, it happened in our center
Yeah,
examination center.
what's the point?
Copying was
Yeah, even the first thing, the whole concept of test taking is it's really stupid.
actually test yourself, but then
Yeah.
it's
Then the if you have the invigilators are
not
not
the most productive
yeah,
system now. Yeah,
they are integral. What?
integrity.
Yeah, the integrity is not so well. So they
Yeah.
just cut that part off. It's like,
But yeah, so I was pretty happy with my performance as a student. But what really turned me off was I was put into a lot of trouble because of the things that I didn't do. I'm gonna blame bad friends for that reason. Really bad people in my class, I guess, and someone who I like trusted also put me in trouble, and that kind of so much trust issues for later on in life, thanks to school. So I was from like grade 9 is probably where I changed, I guess. I was put into so much trouble because of things that I didn't do, and I was obviously immature to stand up and say, "Okay, I didn't do it." So I kind of took all that blame and had to get punished. Parents called in, put my parents through a lot of trouble as well, and which definitely hurt, and which definitely set a tone for me to entrusting people or making friends. It's always been a struggle. So yeah, I always try to make a certain point where like I establish what this friendship or what this relationship between a person is like at the forefront itself. Like, and I find it hard to like make friends definitely naturally, but I'm like nice to people. But then it's like I won't like necessarily trust people.
you put a wall up.
Yeah, exactly. But then if I eventually do get to a point where I can trust this person and call this person a friend, then I'll probably be all out and like really good friends, and I'll put a lot of effort into it. But getting there can be iffy unless it's properly defined in the first place. So thanks to school, all of that happened.
Hey, Fatman from the future here. This episode went quite a while. It was actually an hour long, so we thought of splitting into two. So if you want to hear more of M94's school experience, join us on the next episode.